times in rapid succession, you don't ignore it. You pay attention. Because by the third warning, you're not looking at isolated incidents anymore. You're looking at systemic breakdown. And that's exactly where we are with what's unfolding in Washington. Now, before I get into the details of what I want to discuss, I should mention what I read this morning in the New York Times on November 9th, 2025. The Agriculture Department issued guidance Saturday night about food stamp benefits, and there's a third day of flight cuts at 40 major airports with over 1,400 cancellations. That's the current situation with the government shutdown as it stands. Here's why this really matters. Representative Sri Thanadar of Michigan just filed a new set of impeachment articles against former President Donald Trump. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've been down this road before. Twice, in fact. But here's what makes this different, and I need you to hear me on this. These articles don't rehash Ukraine. They don't revisit January 6th. These are about actions taken in the last 72 hours. Fresh constitutional violations that legal scholars across the political spectrum are calling unprecedented in their brazenness. And what troubles me, what keeps me up at night, is that we're not just seeing Congress take action. We're hearing credible reports that senior cabinet officials, people inside the administration itself, have been quietly discussing the invocation of the 25th Amendment. Think about that for a second. The president's own team, the people appointed to serve in his administration, are mapping out scenarios for how to remove him from office before his term ends. In my 5 decades of sitting on corporate boards, forced succession while the CEO is still sitting in the chair, the company has already crossed a line. It's not about disagreement anymore. It's about survival. The institution itself is at risk, and the people closest to the situation know it. This kind of internal discussion doesn't happen because people are being dramatic or political. It happens when the risk of waiting exceeds the risk of acting. And that calculation, that shift in the risk assessment among people who have everything to lose by speaking up, that's what tells me we're in uncharted territory. Now, let me walk you through what's actually happening here, because the details matter enormously. On October 9th, the president issued an executive order declaring Antifa a domestic terrorist organization. And before you react to that, before you decide whether you agree or disagree with the substance, I want you to focus on the process.